I just would be interested in the Minister's comments on... Now, can I just... There's actually two questions here, and it might be useful for the Chair to clarify, because we have a preamble to the amendment bill, and then we have an amended preamble for the main bill. Because could the Chair clarify which of those preambles we're discussing?
I will, as soon as I know. It's just the bill. It's the preamble to the...
To this bill?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, that's excellent to know. In that case, I would be interested in the Minister's comments on this, and in particular, I would have thought it quite important that the preamble, which is essentially a recitation of the factual background which gave rise to the bill. Firstly, it's quite unusual for bills to have preambles that are not themselves treaty settlement bills, and I'd be interested to know why he's doing that. But also in terms of the factual accuracy, I have read or attempted to read some of the decisions in this case that relate to this bill, and I would have thought that an accurate reflection of the Supreme Court case in here would actually recognise that all of the concerns that the Court of Appeal case gave rise to had in fact been addressed. And I think it's paragraph 5 where it notes the Supreme Court decided the remaining issues under appeals before it and applied its interpretation to those provisions. And then it really is inadequate because it then just says amendments are still needed. The fact of the matter is that this bill was halfway through the House. It was a preemptive strike, if you like. If the government had, in fact, not brought this bill, I don't think it would still feel committed, because what we now have is a government that's stuck its oar in, if you like, or its paddle, I suppose, and is still committed to it. Whereas, in fact, the concerns in the Court of Appeal were entirely ameliorated by the Supreme Court case, and now what we have is a further tightening, which is entirely not necessary. And so to say, as I think it does, that this the decision departed from the original intention of Parliament, it was probably untrue at the start, but it's certainly untrue now. So those are my two questions. Is it firstly, why do we have a preamble in this bill? Because it's not a treaty settlement bill. And secondly, why does the preamble not accurately reflect the decision of the Supreme Court?
Honourable Pina Hinaro.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and that clarification is well received. A number of us have sat here, and given that this is, as my colleague described, the first time I've seen a preamble.
Let's just have a bit of an interruption because Goldie hasn't answered the question yet.
Yeah.
What was a preamble?
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know why we've got a preamble for this. I'm just reading through the preamble now. I didn't actually take notes of the preamble because it's just like I don't even know why it's there. It's in relation to the whakatohea kotahitanga waka Edwards versus Te Kāhui and whakatohea Māori Trust Board, and it goes on about how it's upset with the not the court, but it's upset the Goldsmith, just who wrote this. Was it Goldsmith who wrote this?
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah, okay. It basically goes on, it's like, look, the court didn't interpret it the way how we wanted it to, even though the original intent of the bill doesn't talk about how the courts ought to interpret the legislation. It's just weird. It's just, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really have much commentary on it, other than it's just like, oh, look, we're not happy that it was interpreted the way how the courts interpreted it the way how they did, so we're going to make a bunch of changes.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly what the bill was a bill to sit there and circumvent a potential Supreme Court ruling that later went into their favour.
Yep. Does everyone know what a customary marine title is? I think that's the first question we should probably ask. How familiar is everyone with a customary marine title? If you're not familiar with it, I can go over what it is.
I don't know.
Okay, so that's probably the first thing we should go over before we can go even further with this bill.
Good idea.
So, yeah, let's be clear on what it is. It's not ownership. It doesn't stop public access or fishing or swimming. Instead, it's a special status that comes with special rights. If an iwi, hapu, or whānau group holds this title, they get to have a say in certain activities like approving or declining new marine farms or coastal development permits. they can also protect wahi tapu, and they have a voice in coastal planning. Now, the current law, the current legislation, the 2011 bill that they're looking to amend, already sets a high bar to get this title. For example, a group must prove two things. One, that they hold the area in accordance with their tikanga, so that's customary laws and practices. And two, that they have exclusively used and occupied the specific area since 1840 without substantial interruption. So that's like event or events that can interrupt that exclusive use and occupation. That requires a decision maker, including the court, to consider the nature, extent, duration, and cause of any interruption to the group's exclusive use and occupation of a specified area. So that's already a bloody huge bar, and they're trying to make it even harder.
Yep.
And I will go more into that later, but they actually did it without presenting any evidence for the arguments that they put forward, and instead have told iwi and hapu and whānau, going, this is the new bar you've got to reach. It's way higher, but our bar is down here. We don't have to meet our own standards when writing this new amendment, which is just based on vibes.
Oh, God, it feels so true for...
Yeah, it's a vibes amendment bill.
Yep.
I was reading through the tribunal report today, and that was pretty much what I got here. It's like, oh, it's vibes based.
Yeah. Okay, let's
Thanks for watching. Make sure you're subscribed to our Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, News Guide, the Order Paper Podcast. YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, News Guide, the Order Paper